So I want to talk about authenticity. I had kind of a crazy week. I started this channel 6 days ago or something like that. And I had a video, a 19-second short, blow up to just over 1,000 views in like a day. And because I had just started and because I only had like 5 subscribers or something, and I still only have about that, I was like, wow, that is awesome, right? Like, whatever I did there, I got to keep doing that, right? So I struggled and tried the rest of the week to come up with something similar. I did have one other video the next day that went pretty hard. Um, and it was another short. It was like a minute or something. And I was like, okay, that's cool. And that one was a straight satire. It was a parody. It was intentionally satirical. Um, and that's okay. I'm still going to do some satire from time to time when I think it's funny or appropriate enough or whatever. But the other stuff, what I realized is that I had gotten mostly, you know, hate comments on the one video that got the most views, and I didn't get that many likes, and I got way more comments than likes, and they were mostly negative. And then so I decided to lean into it. I'm like, all right, well, fuck it. If MAGA's going to watch me and they're going to go ahead and, like I might as well troll them a little bit, right? And so I intentionally took the video I had made about RFK banning vaccines, and I broke it down into its most like rage baity form, basically. And I titled it "Anti-Vax equals Anti-Fax." And now, generally speaking, I do think that. I think the anti-vax mentality is straight harmful. Having said that, it is a more nuanced conversation than I gave it credit for in that video. And I realized something over the last few days when that video tanked and got completely ratioed, and I got like 27 hate comments and like no likes. But then I had one other video, and this is the one that caught my eye really, because it was a very genuine, it was, I was being authentic, and it was entitled, "When Exactly Is It Fascism?" And if you want to, you can go watch the video. It's 7 minutes long. And what I noticed about it is it didn't blow up, but it does have like 250 views. Again, I've got 6 subscribers, so like 250 views, like that's fantastic. And but the thing that caught my eye was that it had a bunch of positive comments and some that were not necessarily quite as positive, but they weren't hate comments. They were people having actual discourse. But for the most part, it was overwhelmingly positive. And I got 26 likes on that video with 258 views. That means one out of every 10 person, I'm sorry, one out of every 10 people that watched that video liked it enough to actually think about hitting the like button without being reminded either, because I didn't say it on that video. Like, or maybe I did at the very end, like, yeah, blah, blah, like and subscribe. But I don't really hammer on that in my videos. I feel like, and that's kind of what I'm circling back around to, is that it has only taken me a week to realize that I want to be authentic. I want to make videos about what I actually think. And sometimes I'm going to get, excuse me, sometimes I'm going to get pissed. Sometimes I might look at the screen and say, "MAGA, fuck you," because I really feel that way. But hopefully I can give more context than just "fuck you." And my point is that I'm not going to shy away from being controversial, if that's what, but I'm not going to lean into it for the sake of controversy either. And man, when I got all the hate comments on the anti-vax short that I put out, I went through and like patiently responded in as good of faith as I could to everything. There was 1 or 2 comments where I was just like baffled, and I was like, this is an idiotic take and you're an idiot, like, and even that is like, is that really helpful, calling people idiots? I don't know. Sometimes they need to be told they're idiots, I think, if they're really, really that bad. But some people just want to troll. You know what I mean? And I have no use for raising my blood pressure over random people's thoughts and comments. What I am interested in is building a community on this channel. I want to hear from people who are with me on this journey. You know what I mean? People who are alive in America today and who are concerned about the state of our country, concerned about how difficult everything is. These are the people I want to connect with. These are the people I want to bond with. And I think that potential exists based on that other video. So I am making a pledge to be authentic. That's my pledge. That's what this video is about. This video is probably going to get like 3 views, but whatever. I don't care, because somebody somewhere might connect with it and think about authenticity and think about what it means to be authentic in this time and place. Because I feel like, man, Like, what do I really expect if I go out there rage baiting people? You know, I'm probably going to get some rage directed at me, right? And then what am I not going to get pissed off? Like, I know myself better than that. I can get sucked down these rabbit holes just as easy as anybody else. So that, and then a very serendipitous, excuse me, a very serendipitous video that I saw just this afternoon from Park Rose Permaculture, who is a creator on YouTube that I follow, and she's great. And she had done a video this afternoon, literally about this very subject and relating it back to a personal traumatic experience in her life and how she was concerned and that her and her family were in danger and might very well have lost their lives, according to her story, which she didn't give details about, and I don't care. I hope they're doing well, but I don't need to know those details to get the gist of what she's saying. And it was like very serendipitous for me to see that. So I thought, in honor of that serendipity, and in case there's anybody else out there having this very conversation with themselves right now, I think it's valuable to talk about what authenticity is, So for me, I think it is continuing to say the same things, whether you're angry about it, whether you're mellow about it, whether whatever, but not changing you might change your tone, I suppose, but not changing who you are or what you're saying based on the way the wind is blowing or who might happen to be paying you. And there's been a lot of drama in the last few days over the scandal with Chorus involving Brian Tyler Cohen and David Pakman and Taylor Lorenz, and there's this whole story going on. I haven't quite landed yet on where I am on this story. I will tell you that I generally lean to the progressive side versus the liberal side, and it wouldn't surprise me at all to find out that these guys were being a little bit dishonest. That said, I don't know enough details, and so if you want to look into that, but that's been like what's going on. That's what she was talking about in the Park Rose video, where she was saying, I've been sucked into all these conversations recently, and for what? For what? If I leave this earth tomorrow, did I want to spend the last days of my life arguing with people online? And that really hit me, because I'd been thinking the exact same thing, but not quite as, I didn't quite have the mortality experience that that shook her up. It was I haven't had that recently, maybe not ever, nothing like quite what she described, but I haven't had that, and so I'm not coming at it from quite that point of view, but I do think about the shortness of life every single day of my life. Every single day I'm aware of how quickly the time is ticking by. And I don't want to spend my time that way. So here's to you, Park Rose Permaculture. Anybody watching this video, go check her out. She's great. Yeah, I guess I'll let it go for there. I'll let it go there for right now, because I'm losing my train of thought. But this is me making a dedication to myself and to all three of you that are probably watching this video or have seen it at this point. I'm not expecting it to do anything, but if you watch this video, I am going to be authentic, and you can count on me for that. So anyway, I do hope you enjoyed listening to my ramblings. If you did, if you checked this video out, if you made it this far, please like, subscribe, you know the drill. It goes a long way to help me get boosted in the algorithm, but as I just stated, that's not what this is about. I'm not going to make videos to please the algorithm rather than trying to make videos that connect with people. That's my takeaway. Have a good day, everybody.